What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and welcome to the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat. Now first off, let me let you guys know that I will be attending the Anaheim Regionals this upcoming Saturday. From what I've heard, they are allowing 1,000 people to enter the event this time, which is pretty remarkable, pretty cool. For those of you guys who don't know, usually the Southern California regional events are about 6, 7, maybe 750 people entrance, and because of that, it's just still not big enough to accommodate everybody that goes to these events, myself included. The last two regionals that they had out in LA that I've gone to, I was turned away, saying there was no more room for anybody to enter the tournament, and it really sucked, okay? It's really discouraging to make the journey all the way out there and then just be turned away saying, you know, sorry, oh well, you know, you came out here for nothing. And you know, it almost makes me not want to go to regional events out here in Southern California anymore. But hearing that they are allowing 1,000 people to enter the event this time is really good, because that means that they've at least learned from their mistakes somewhat about not having enough room. Plus, there is a YCS out in Texas happening on the same day, which can only mean good things, since Texas is really not too far from Southern California, and I'm sure a lot of duelists are making the journey out to that event, thus leaving more room open for those of us who have not been able to attend a regional recently. So that is all really great news. Also, I'm going to be attending the San Diego YCS on April, I want to say it's 6th and 7th, right around that time. It's like the first weekend in April. So if you're going to be at either one of these events, please come up and say hello to me. I love meeting my subscribers. You know, we can sit around and talk or duel or film something. It's always great to meet those who enjoy the content I produce up here on YouTube. With all that said, I'd like to get on to this episode's discussion, and that's going to be on your first Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack. Now, in the past on my channel, I kind of talked about what brought me into Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of how that developed. I'm going to touch slightly on it on this video as well. And then I'm going to kind of delve more into the first pack that I actually decided to buy and why. Now, for those of you guys who are kind of newer to my channel, I used to play a game called HeroClix, which is kind of funny because now Konami is actually going to be making some HeroClix as well, but that's kind of a little bit off topic. Anyhow, I used to play the little Marvel and DC HeroClix, which is somewhat similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! In the way that you do collect the clicks, but you do play them on this massive board and whatnot. Anyhow, HeroClix led me to going to a place called Frankincense. Now, at Frankincense, it's pretty much a huge collectible warehouse where you can buy all kinds of really cool collectible stuff, including HeroClix and comic books and trading cards such as Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, when I was first playing HeroClix, it was around the time that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was first starting to come about, at least the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. And I would start to see it all over the place at, you know, Walmart's, Targets, and then Walgreens, and all these kind of crazy places. And I was like, man, freaking this stuff's like becoming really popular. But I always thought it seemed kind of kiddish, or was not really something I was interested in getting into, because I had played, not really played, but I had known people who played Magic the Gathering before, and just didn't seem like something that interested me. Now, because I was so into HeroClix though, we kind of branched out and played other kind of board games quite a bit, stuff like Risk and all these other kind of stuff. And one time when we were having kind of like a game night, if you will, over at my house with a bunch of my friends and stuff, one of my buddies brought over a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks. And at first I was real hesitant about even attempting to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I was like, I don't even want to try that. But with enough of convincing, if you will, he was able to, you know, get me to actually try playing the deck. And I had a blast. It was really fun. And so every time we would have a game night or something over at my house, he would bring over his Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and he would teach another one of my friends and me how to play a little more, and it was kind of cool. It's kind of like how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, even though I was sort of playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, I wasn't really collecting the game or, you know, going out and buying cards or anything like that. I was just playing it every now and then, every once in a blue moon, really. And I remember I would keep going into stores, and I would stop and I'd kind of look at the packs, and my girlfriend at the time would always be like, are you thinking about buying these? And I was like, no, I just, you know, my buddy brings them over all the time, and, you know, it's just kind of interesting to me that, you know, that there's people out there that, you know, massively collect this. And she's like, oh, all right, well, whatever. And but over time I kept playing it more and more, and I was having more and more fun playing it. And I would see him changing cards in and out of his deck and stuff, and I'd be like, man, it would be really cool to be able to change out the cards in the deck that I was using, because at the time I was just using the same deck over and over again, his like extra one that he would bring over for me. And I kept thinking, like, it'd be so much cooler if I could just maybe put a card that did this in the deck, or maybe do something like that. And eventually what ends up happening is I'm in a Walgreens one day, and I'm in there getting something miscellaneous, and I walk by the counter, and they have Yu-Gi-Oh cards up there, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just buy a pack, and that way I could like maybe put in my own little tech cards next time he comes over with the deck. And I end up buying a pack, and I got out of the store, I went in the car, and I opened up the package and everything, and thumbing through the cards, and there was an actual holographic card in there. My first pack I ever bought, I pulled a holographic card, and it was Injection Fairy Lily. But at the time, I didn't know that it was a secret rare, and it was kind of hard to get. It was kind of a card that a lot of people were kind of trying to get. It was real sought after at the time. And I remember when my buddy came over next time, I had my cards that I had pulled, and I put a bunch of them in the sleeves, and shuffled them into the deck. And then when we were dueling, I summoned Injection Fairy Lily, and he was like, "Whoa, what the heck? Where did that come from?" And I was like, "Oh, you noticed that I pulled that in a pack?" And he was like tripping out, because he was like, "What the hell? You have this card? This card is like really hard to get." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I just bought a pack, and there it was. And just seeing his reaction kind of encouraged me more to go out and buy more packs. And eventually, when I started going to Frankincense, I started buying less and less HeroClix and more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, until it got to the point to where I was eventually building my own deck and then trading for cards, and which eventually led to me, going onto forum boards back in the day, and then eventually, coming into YouTube to here. And that's kind of the story of my first pack, and kind of how it kind of came to be. So, in the comment section below, make sure you let me know what it was like when you bought your first pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! What encouraged you to actually make that jump and start buying packs? What was in that first pack? What did you pull? And I guess that's about it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.